everyone, and happy Wine Wednesday. If you're new to the channel, I'm Allie from A Glass After Work. Thanks for joining. Today we're going to taste several Albarinos. Albarino is a white wine grape. It's predominantly grown in the Ricus area of Spain, although you definitely see it in some other places like Portugal, California. I think I've even seen some in Virginia. And I think it's a delicious white grape. I tend to be a Spanish wine person. It tends to be my jam, and so I have always kind of leaned towards the Spanish wines in general. And since the last several days have been, excuse the thunder, since the last several days have been during the Albarino festival in Spain, I thought it would be fun to try several Albarinos with you. So I grabbed all of these from Whole Foods, and we'll taste them in order of least expensive to most expensive, although all of them are under $20. One of the things I love about Spanish wines, particularly Spanish white wines, is that they tend to be pretty affordable. So with that, let's taste our first one. And so here's our first white wine. It's a 2017 El Terrano. And why don't we take a look? I've already poured it, so I don't know if you can get a look in here. It's nice and clear colored, nice and pale. All three of these wines actually are going to be pretty pale. That's a pretty notable characteristic of the Albarinos. They're not usually going to be really deep in color. And on the nose, whew, definitely lots of citrus. So I'm getting some grapefruit, some limes, actually, and a little bit of like citrus rind. I would say maybe some grapefruit rind, and just a hint of salinity. So normally one of the things that I love about the Albarinos is that, particularly when they're from Spain, because they're grown on the northwest corner up by the Atlantic, they very often also have a lot of salinity that remind me of the ocean. I'm only getting a hint of that in this one. So anyway, let's take a taste. Cheers. Ooh, that citrus hits me. Wow. So there is a lot of citrus happening on this. Lots of grapefruit, lots of lime, actually even a little bit, a hint of lemon. I'm kind of surprised. Normally you don't get a lot of lemon. A little bit of salinity. The acid is super, super high. The body is pretty light. The alcohol is pretty light. I think it's super tasty. So this wine I grabbed for $14. For $14, this is a delicious wine. I admit, hubby and I have had it several times. It's one of those ones that Whole Foods has had for several weeks, and it's just a delicious summer wine. It's super refreshing when it's hot outside. It goes with salads. We do a lot of kind of Mediterranean, like couscous and feta and cucumber type salads, and this wine goes great with it. This particular bottle is delicious. I highly recommend it. All right, next up. So we've got the 2017 Martin Codex. So Martin Codex is a very well-known Spanish winemaker. And Martin Codex tends to be one of those wines that if I see on a wine list, I never hesitate to grab, because it's always going to be good, especially if I'm kind of going at the lower price end. Again, just kind of quickly, you're going to see that it's super light in color. There's a little bit of spritz on the bottom, but I don't think we're going to get it on the mouth. Actually, I gotta be honest, I think this wine is bad. That's kind of super embarrassing. I mean, I don't test them beforehand. I taste live, and I'm really surprised. So part of the reason why I was surprised is I was going to tell you guys it's a screw top, and screw top usually is a pretty good indicator of a wine. It's a pretty good way to keep a wine from going bad. So I'm really surprised. Yep, no, this wine is definitely off. So why don't we go for the third wine? And this is Laval. To be honest, I've never had this one before. This is the only one I haven't had before. It's also a 2017, and it's the most expensive in the group at $17.99. So we're still talking under $20. It's an $18 bottle of wine. And like the others, right, it's going to be pretty light in color. And oh, that's a very nice nose. So this has definitely got a lot of that salinity that I enjoy, mixed with definitely some grapefruit. Actually, I'm also getting some maybe some tangerine, some kind of orangey notes, and a hint of apricot as well. All right, why don't we give it a taste? Cheers. Okay, so this is beautiful, you guys, beautiful. So definitely high acid, which is part of what makes it a delicious food wine. Definitely has got some of that salinity in there, which is very, very typical of an Albarino. But then it's also got some nice, good, juicy fruit flavors happening. I've got some good, juicy apricots and peaches going on in there, but also the brightness of a kind of the grapefruit citrusy thing happening. I'll also say there's something a little floral about it. It's not something I normally associate with an Albarino, but it's beautiful. So, well, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. I'm sorry that one of the wines was not of the best showing. I can't really predict that, especially if I'm gonna taste them on video, and I don't want to edit it out because that just seems a waste of the experience. It does happen sometimes. So I'd be interested to know, have you ever encountered a bad wine, and how do you handle it? Do you bring it back to the store? Do you just kind of take it and let it go and say, all right, you chalk it up to a bad wine day and open something new? Also would love to know what you think of Albarino, if you've had one before. I know I love pairing it with seafood, fresh oysters. If I see an Albarino on a seafood menu, I absolutely gravitate towards it. I also really like it with Caribbean food or some Asian food. The spiciness and the fish, it just is perfect together. So would love to know what you do with it. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate those. If you don't already subscribe, I'd love for you to do that. You can hit the button right here, or you can hit it right below, and don't forget to hit the little bell though. It'll let you know when I upload my next video, which is going to be every Wine Wednesday. And if you're looking for another recommendation, there's one for you right here. And with that, thanks for joining me. Cheers.